Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, a channel for marriage-minded men. I married a woman from the Philippines back in 2015, and so a lot of my videos talk about that dynamic of getting to know somebody, even to all the way to marriage. Now, that starts with chatting, and that's what I want to talk about today. Eventually, when you connect with somebody, let's say it's website, and I used Christian Filipina. Many people have used that one. I've got an affiliate link in the description box. You might identify somebody that you're interested in. That's a whole nother video. But once you've decided that you're going to chat with somebody, most likely it will be kind of not a video chat, but text chat, I guess you call it. And so I just think to be successful, you have to be very determined to be on time always, especially for that very first chat. Like they say, you only have one chance to make a first impression, and that's going to be very important when trying to connect with somebody that you might want to marry from thousands of miles away. And so the first impression is that first chat. We could even do it two ways. One impression is the first chat, and the other is the first video. So if you tell someone, I'm going to talk to you at 8 p.m. my time, which could be 9 a.m. her time, you have to make sure that you're not suggesting a time that is impossible. Then, as the leader of the relationship and a potential marriage, I think you have to be absolutely on time. You could be a couple of minutes early, but no more than that. But don't be late. Not even a minute or two late. Very important to make that impression that that person is important to you. Their time is important to you, and you're going to be on time. There is this thing called Filipino time. You might say, okay, 8 p.m. my time, and you may be there, and she may show up 10 minutes later. And over there, that's just kind of acceptable. And you can argue that that's unacceptable because she's talking to a man from across the country that could be her husband someday, but I think you have to overlook that, in my opinion, because that's just not the way she grew up. And that is a cultural thing, and that's one of other cultural things you'll just have to accept. So when you say you're going to talk to somebody, make sure they're on time, because they will know you're on time, because probably many others are not on time. And so they're making a bad impression. You're making a first impression. So what I also recommend is, as quickly as possible, after this first chat it could be on Viber, it could be on Skype. I still have those on my computer. Could be, got to turn this spam off here. Could be anything. Make sure you're on time, and then say, hey, if it went well, let's go to video chat. Because if you don't move to video chat, you might be doing texting for months, and she's waiting for you to initiate. Let's go on camera. Now, if she doesn't want to go on camera, then she's probably hiding something. I don't think you can say, well, she's so shy that she doesn't want to go on camera. Yeah, both of you may be a little uncomfortable with that. But if you're serious about a relationship, then I think she will go quickly to video, and you will ask her to go quickly to video. And when that happens, of course, make sure that you set up a time that's going to absolutely work for both of you. She may be in school, she may have a job, something else going on with the family. So don't be too demanding on the time, because she's got things to do too. And so then on your video chat, very first one, I've got some questions in YouTube playlist called something about questions to ask a Filipina. They're icebreakers, and then there's more serious questions for the future, and then there's more serious questions than that when you're ready to propose. And there's even some after you're married to help you get to know her on this video chat, but try to keep it light. That's why the initial chat and questioning is to be on the lighter side. But make sure you have it quiet. Make sure that the background looks pleasant. I mean, she's probably going to look for the place you live and kind of size it up, and that's okay. So make sure it looks nice. Make sure you've got a nice shirt on. Don't look like a slob or anything like that, because again, now you're making a first impression because she is seeing you live and in color for the very first time. And go ahead and leave a comment on this, if you will, and subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. Perhaps you've had first encounters with many Filipinas. Maybe one was all it took. I connected with 4 or 5 myself, and then my wife was the most serious one about a relationship, and we ended up getting married very quickly. But when you go to camera, video cam, make sure you look good and presentable. Make sure you're not like eating or doing something distracting like that. Make sure that the things you say are not too private. Of course, no bad language, no sexually explicit communication. Make sure that you're showing her what you would be like as a husband. And you can talk about some of those things, but mostly that would be for later. You're trying to make a first impression when you go on camera. And I guess the length of time, some would say keep it short the first time. That's not bad advice. 15, 20 minutes. Somebody once told me I should only be speaking with my wife 15 minutes, maybe 3 times a week. So we're talking 4 hours a day, on camera, and probably 6 or 7 hours a day on the weekends. So make sure you just don't go so far that one of you is uncomfortable or you run out of things to say. If you have to take notes on things she says, that's better than saying, now what was that again? Or where did you grow up again? Or how many sisters or brothers do you have again? That sort of thing. But the list of questions I've got there in that playlist on YouTube would be very helpful to make a good first impression. If you're just sitting there in silence because neither one of you knows what to say, well, then you're just not prepared. So I want you to be prepared to take this seriously. So be on time for the first text chat, be on time for the first video chat, and know what to say so that she has some idea if you're going to be worth her time, because she's probably got other men also wanting to talk to her, and I think whoever makes the best first impression moves up on the list for her. So that's all I want to say, just prioritizing of being on time. That's where it all gets started, so I think you want to do well with that. So if you have a comment, please leave it here on Love Beyond the Sea.